What's up, guys? I'm here to give you my epic sports thoughts about the WEC 52 card. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a special video talking about a certain subject that, if you want to figure out right now, check out the latest issue of Sports Illustrated. It's on the cover. I'm going to talk about that. But WEC 52, let's break down the card. As you know, it has Uriah Faber dropping down in bantamweight, probably one of the biggest bantamweight bouts probably ever. Just because it is Uriah Faber, he's like the #1 draw in the WEC. But anyways, let's look at the prelims. Actually, we're not. If you want to hear my thoughts on the prelims, go to blogtalkradio.com, type in MMA Fanatics, and then search, and then you will find me, on one of the shows where we preview the WEC card. But just for record's sake, my picks were Yves Dubuin, Cub Swanson, Michael McDonald, Zach Mickelwright, Anthony Andrew Kwani, and LC Davis. I'm pretty sure it's LC Davis. I can't remember actually. But I don't want to change picks. But so check it out on the MMA Fanatics. Check that out to get my analysis and breakdown of those fights. Now let's move on to the main card. We got Damasio Page versus Demetrius Johnson. This is actually one of the more interesting bouts. Damasio Page, really powerful, and obviously the win could propel himself to the top three bantamweights in the division. He's taking on Demetrius Johnson, who's looked impressive with his wins. Although I do think he's quite young. He's like 24, and he's not the Jose Aldo 24, as in like Jose Aldo's the man of the world. But Demetrius Johnson, coming off that loss to Brad Pickett and then coming back with a win, I think he has a lot of promise. But I think Damasio Page is too much for him. Damasio Page is so powerful, so good. I think he needs to work on his ground game a little bit, but that's not going to play a factor in this fight, I don't think. So I'm taking Damasio Page in this fight. Then move on to Joseph Benavidez versus Rodney Fabiano. Another good fight. I believe it's supposed to be Fabiano and Brian Bowles. And Joseph Benavidez, there's a lot of talk how he's undersized. He is undersized in this division, but he's also really good. I personally think he's the second best guy. I think I prefer him over Uriah Faber. I think he's just going to take Fabiano out of his game. I think he has the ability to take down Fabiano, and Fabiano's jiu-jitsu will not, he's able to silence the jiu-jitsu attack from Fabiano. The striking probably be even. Fabiano showed some awesome striking with his IFL fights, some cool knockouts, but I'm just going to take Benavidez with the unanimous decision. He's just a well-rounded, awesome fighter. Then we move on to featherweight bout Eric Koch, or Koch. I honestly have no idea how to pronounce it, and sucks for him to have that last name. Taking on Francisco Rivera. I haven't watched too much of Francisco Rivera. Eric Koch is like a top level featherweight, so I have a feeling that he's going to probably take down Rivera and control him on the ground, submissions. Probably going to get like a second or first round submission victory, but you never know, upsets do happen. Now we move on to the co-main event, Chad Mendes versus Javier Vasquez. I'm pretty outspoken about Javier Vasquez. I do think he's quietly overrated. I don't think he deserves his co-main event spot. I think he does, because he does have 2 wins in the WEC, but I don't think, how he's been rated, like how he is, this is a close fight. I really think Chad Mendes really outclasses him. Vasquez's biggest win, he hasn't really had that big one yet. Obviously he's coming off those 2 wins, and he beat Jens Pulver. But Jens Pulver at that time really isn't a win. It is a win, obviously, but he's not this Jens Pulver that we once knew. He's just not. MMA has evolved and Jens Pulver hasn't. But Vasquez still does present a lot of problems to Mendes on the ground. He does have some dangerous submission attacks, but I just think Mendes is going to be able to take him down, control him like he's done with the other fights. And maybe he might decide to strike, but I think he will revert to the takedowns to get a unanimous decision victory over Javier Vasquez. Then move on to the main event, the one that everybody's looking forward to, and what surely will be a great fight. Uriah Faber versus Takeo Mizugaki. Mizugaki, just hard to take down. He's got underrated striking, underrated grappling, really underrated actually. But he's hard to take down, probably one of my favorite Japanese fighters to watch. I prefer him over watching Shinya Aoki. I know it's quite surprising, but he's a bantamweight, and I do enjoy bantamweights. I prefer him over Akiyama. I prefer him over pretty much everybody aside from Kawajiri and Omigawa. But anyways, nonetheless, this should be a really good fight. I tell you what, Mizugaki has the potential to upset Uriah, but I know UFC, Zuffa, if they could choose who to win, they'd obviously choose Faber, who I think they're kind of hoping will be like the GSP, except for more charisma, the the WEC UFC merger, where people get behind him in the featherweight and the bantamweight division. And I think that they really are hoping that he will win. I think he will win. It's probably gonna be a struggle to take down Mizugaki, but that's not saying he might outstrike Mizugaki. I think he's just gonna control him. We're gonna have a great fight, and I think Faber might just be able to barely outclass Mizugaki in almost every aspect of this game. But you never know. Upsets do happen, and it is MMA, and it is my favorite sport. I'll see you guys later. Epic Sports Thoughts. Bye.